Hey, everybody. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Yes, Joe Walsh Part 2. Welcome to lesson number 6. Yeah, okay. I'm not stuck on Joe Walsh or anything. I just thought, we did kind of a non-Joe Walsh song for the Joe Walsh thing, so I thought I'd just come on and do this song because it's a pretty cool, interesting song, funny song, a little weird stuff going on in it. Definitely different and pretty skillful stuff. A lot of little bends and stuff like that. But Joe is still number one. I think I talked last time about how I call him the Forrest Gump of rock and roll. One thing I forgot to say, talked about Jimmy Page connection, his Pete Townsend connection, his connection with the talk box and all that kind of thing. But he also was connected with Stevie Nicks, who calls him the love of her life, actually, which is, when I heard that, I was like, wow, I didn't realize. But then I just thought about all the partying that those guys did in the late 70s and thinking, okay, that kind of makes sense. Anyhow. So Life's Been Good, killer song. Kind of his, he always had solo songs all the way through his career, if you notice that. The James Gang stuff is kind of solo. And then he had, he joins the Eagles, those guys. And then he had this song which they actually did live in always since like I think it's even on the live Eagles album from the 70s. Is Life's Been Good is on that album. So that's how great a guy he is that they just said, hey, put your song on our album. Can't see. I'm going to say anything. We can't see those guys being that generous today. Anyways, but anyhow. Yeah, Life's Been Good. Yeah, a little riff in buzzing around A and D. Always hard to bend down in the first fret areas. Yeah, Joe's always good for some really cool bends like that. Just interesting bends. And then he I think he plays it in slide, but I kind of played it with a. Just slid my first finger up to here. He probably does that on slide in the studio. The other part, of course, is the cool. And then. Which is just basically landing on an F, and then playing an A minor, G, and an F. And then back to and then it switches to A minor. Now it's kind of hard to get all the way up here to this guy here, so I was just kind of playing a fragment. Trying to keep that A string buzzing as we go. There's a lot to that song. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'm trying to keep my video short, as we know. I want to talk about this guitar, though, because I like talking about my guitars. I just like doing that. This is obviously a Les Paul. No, it's not. It's a Strat. There's lots of Strats in this house. This is my first Strat I actually ever bought. That was an honest to goodness Strat that actually has 3 singles and 6 screws into the wood bridge. Traditional Strat. First traditional Strat. I bought it at Cosmo Music Midnight Madness sale in like 1993. That's how long ago that was. Cosmo wasn't even in the giant. This is long before. They've got a giant superstore in the north end of Toronto in Vaughan, which is an amazing store. You should check that out if you're ever around that area. But they had a bunch of little stores. This one was in Scarborough. They had a Midnight Madness sale they used to have a couple times a year. I think, I don't know. You stood in line outside because there's so many people in the store, and they had this thing saying, we have Squires for a real ridiculous price for, like, back then it was like $120 or something like that. Squires. So I went in there and they had boxes and boxes of these Sunburst. They were exactly the same, Sunburst Squire, but it was a rosewood neck, which is, here's the original neck. Look at that. Hey. Original neck. Original neck was 22 frets, which was interestingly enough for a Strat, which was all traditional Strat, which usually has 21. I had a hip shot on this way back when, and these are the original tuners. It's Squire Strat. Squires are pretty good back then, They still are. I mean, this was the early '90s, so they're well built. And I kept this guitar. I didn't play it a lot because I was a big humbucker guy for the bridge. I was a Van Halen, I wanted to make noise and put the Seymour Duncan in the bridge and that. So I just played this guitar at home and brought it out every once in a while when I wanted to mess around. Sometimes when I wanted to be different, I sat for a long time, in case I've had since '93, and then I found my brilliant guitar doctor, Derek, who took care of my guitars for quite a few years, and he doesn't really do it anymore, which is really sad because I need help. I need someone who can fix these things up. But this neck, original neck, which he set up the guitar, and it sounded phenomenal. You would think this was like a vintage Strat, but this neck, you can't see it, but it warped that way down here. So the neck played okay all the way around here, and then you got to hear it just died down here in the D chord section here, and that was it. And it's so sad because he fixed it. Actually, he put it in a heat press with his clamps and everything, brought it back, but about a month later it went back. Like wood likes to go where it's comfortable, right? So the tree went back to where the branch hung properly over the street. Yes. Anyways, I put this. Derek put this neck on my guitar. It's a Mighty Mite Fender direct Fender replacement, Fender spec, and put some locking Grovers on, which are really nice. But never the same, totally the same sound. This the maple neck makes it slightly different, so I'll probably search for a really nice rosewood neck for this Strat, because man, did it ever sound good when he set it up. But anyways, another guitar story for you. It's a nice one. This is like our living room Strat. Jacob and I play it in the living room. It doesn't go out much. But anyhow, Joe Walsh has a lot of Strats. Joe Walsh has a lot of songs, and I will, maybe the next time later this week, if I can dig it out, it's somewhere in this pile of junk, my talk box, and I'm going to do a talk box video. It might not be the next one, but it'll be the following one. Anyways, have a great one. Don't mind me rambling on. See ya.